Welcome to another episode of Addict Thoughts Entertainment. Let's get this, let's adjust that right there. Get that right. See the logo? Fired up today. Here we call this, we're going to call this Uncle Sam Wants Me. I was in my 30s, in my time in my life. I was married. At this time I had 3 children. My third son had just been born. He was a couple, I'd say about 2 years old, just starting to walk. I'm heavy in my addiction, drinking every day, drugging, smoking weed at this point daily. And so I go out and I'm driving around on a Saturday afternoon, visiting friends, stopping at my boy's house, doing this, doing that, drinking, smoking weed, hanging out, seeing what's up for the night. And I everywhere I went, I drank a 24-ounce of beer. I had it in my lap all the time, drinking, driving, doesn't matter where I was at, always had one. So I'm driving and I run out of my beer. So I pull over into the strip mall and I go into the store and I buy me some beer and I come out, and right there when I'm standing out is a recruiter standing there. So he calls me over. Hey, can I speak to you for a minute? And I didn't have, nothing to do, so I'm like half drunk, let me go entertain this dude. Let me see what he got to say. So I go over there, I crack my beer, I'm drinking my beer, and he calls me over there and he says, hey son, you ever thought about the Army? And I told him, hey, I'm a bit older, I got a family and this and that. He said, doesn't matter, come on in, let's talk about it. Let's see what's going on. So at the time, my dream was to be a DJ on the radio. I always thought that I had a good voice for that, and I had DJed in my younger days, spinning records and producing music. So I thought, I really wanted to be on the radio. That was my dream then. So he calls me in there and he's talking to me and, telling me about the Army and all it could do for me and be all you can be and giving me the speeches. And so I'm telling him, I really want to be in the radio field, and he's telling me, son, you'll pay for school, you can go into communications, that'll give you a good start on being on the radio. And so I'm all excited about it, and I'm thinking, I don't have too much going on right now. I didn't have a good job at the time, sort of hustling and doing the street thing. So I was like, you know what, maybe this would be a good time for me to go to the Army. Right then and there, he talked me into it. And I signed up right there, signed the paperwork. And so I leave there and I go home and I tell my wife, hey, guess what? I'm in the Army. I just signed up. I leave in a couple of days. And of course she's going, like, what are you talking about? You just left out of here, to go visit your boys or whatever, do your thing. What are you talking about, you going to the Army? And I say, yep, I signed up for the Army. I talked to the recruiter. He's going to give me schooling. He's going to do all these things. I'll be able to, get us out of here. I'll be able to, give us a better life. And in my mind then, I really, really, truly believed that. The denial was so thick in my life about my addiction, about my marriage not really going right, about me being a father. I wasn't a good father. All these things. I was so far in denial that I truly believed this was going to work for me. I would be able to get out of here. I would relocate. They would give me school money, and I would be this big success on the radio. That's what my mind was telling me. And she's flabbergasted. She don't know what to do. She's like, okay, I whatever it is, I'm going to support you. If that's what you're going to do, go to the Army. Okay, I'm with you. So a couple days later, I go down the recruiting thing. I go go to Columbus. And I do all the testing and stuff, take all the tests for it and the physical part and all that. Everything looks good, except they said that I didn't pass my test with high enough scores for communication, so I would have to be a Cav Scout. And he glorified that too. It's going to be great. You're going to be a Cav Scout. You're going to go camping. You're going to shoot every weapon. You're going to do all these things. And I was like excited, like, okay, that's great. Okay, let's do that. I'll still get my school money. I'll still be able to go to, school for being in communications and being on the radio. So excited. Let's go. Let's do this. But by this time, I had gone too far anyway. So let's go. A little About a week or so later, I get on a plane, I fly down to Fort Knox, Kentucky. And I get down there and the recruiters, the drill sergeants, they're yelling at us, rah, 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 barking, and I'm thinking, what did I do? I done made a mistake. So we get in the process and I'm hating every minute of it. I'm hating life and I don't know how I can get out of this. I don't think I can get out of this. Matter of fact, they're telling me I can't get out of this. So I just kind of settle in. I say, I'm here now. There's nothing I can do about it. Let me do what I can do. After about a couple weeks of that, I settled in and I started really enjoying it. Just like he said, I went camping. I shot every weapon in the Army, rocket launchers, C4, M16. I was able to do things that I never would have been able to do without this experience. And that was great. Once I settled in, I really loved it. I really started to love it. And if it wasn't for the running, it was a great experience. It really was. So I get, to the end of boot camp. I have some medical issues in there. I get them looked at, and then I get a chance to be free. And my first chance to be free, I smoke and I drink. First chance. And so, the Army frowns on that. They don't want that. And so I wind up released from the Army. And I go home defeated again. And I don't know what direction to go in life at this point, right? I thought this was my new beginning, my new fresh start, and it wasn't. So I'm just stuck and I'm lost again, and I'm in that levels of denial again. And what it is, until my recovery, I didn't find out till later on that in my recovery that, I was just running. We always hear geographical cures won't change us. You always take you with you. And that was the case for me. I take me everywhere I go. And I didn't learn that till I got into the recovery process. So I also learned, what am I running from? Drugs and alcohol are the solution to my problem, but I'm the problem. And I'm always running from something. So until I started figuring out the things that I'm running from, whether it be my past, whether it be trauma, whether it be just anything that goes along with everything that comes along with my life and transferred into my addiction, I was just running. I was running from the man in the mirror and everything that came along with that. I was running from life. We filled out a little thing in treatment one time, a triggers list. And it said, write your triggers down here and do all this. And I'm sitting in treatment and I'm looking at all these guys writing all these triggers down. And I wrote one word on there. And when it came around and got time to me, the counselor was like, what'd you write down, James? And I said, one word. It's life. Because everything triggers me. Waking up triggers me. Driving triggers me. Making love triggers me. Being with my kids triggers me. Going to the store triggers me. You name it, it triggers me. Alcohol was the way for me to cope with life. So now what do I do, counselor? So if you're in addiction right now and you're struggling and you're watching this video, ask yourself, what am I running from? What am I running from? And if you're in recovery process right now and you're in early stages or you're struggling or you're still you don't know how to stay clean or you're trying to figure it out or you get in the process but still struggling, what are you running from? Start to figure those things out. Take a look at that man in the mirror. Look deep inside. And the recovery process will get a little bit easier for you. Uncle Sam wants me. See y'all later. Addict Thoughts Entertainment.